Hello my friends, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about sinking funds. If you can master sinking funds, guys, you will rarely stress about money again. These are such a necessity, but at the same time, they're so luxurious. So we're going to go through all of the benefits of having really rock solid sinking funds, and I'm going to show you step by step behind the scenes how to actually put them together and how to figure out how much you need for your own sinking funds. I mean, when I think about my most stressful money moments in the past, it all comes down to when I didn't have money set aside for those unexpected expenses that I really should have been expecting. I really should have been anticipating. We're going to go over what those are and how you can be more in control of your finances. If you're serious about your savings game, give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and let's get started. So I'm going to open this up and we're going to dive into exactly how to set up your first sinking funds. As we do this, I'm going to talk a little bit about what you might want to consider in your very own sinking fund and where are the best places to keep it. And lastly, we'll talk about how to distinguish your sinking fund from your emergency fund. If you haven't seen my video all about how to put together emergency funds, where to keep them, and best uses for them, you can check out that video right here. I'll link it also down below in the description. So let's dig right in. Okay, so here we go. This is page 1 of the Sinking Fund Workbook, and what I want you to start with is just brain dumping all of the things that you want to set aside in your sinking fund over the course of the year. Think about your vehicles, your home. What are some costs that come up on a fairly regular basis, on a yearly basis, that don't fit into your monthly bills? For vehicles, for example, you might want to save up for snow tires or oil changes or getting the brakes replaced. Create a relationship with your mechanics so that you know what's coming and that you can prepare for all the things that come with owning a car, right? If you have some maintenance in your home that needs to be taken care of in the next several months or a year, get a quote, know what you need to save up for in order to make that happen. When it comes to kids and pets, how often are you taking them to the dentist or the vet? What is happening on a regular sort of annual basis to supplement what you spend on a regular monthly basis? This might also be sports or lessons, other things that don't fall into a monthly budget, but that actually have bigger costs throughout the year. And then of course there's holidays, gifts, travel. You pay your insurance or taxes on an annual or biannual basis. You can include those in your sinking funds. And then any other miscellaneous annual expenses that you have. These are anything that you know are coming or you can expect may or may not happen this year that you want to save for that don't fall into your regular monthly spending. So then on page 2, we're going to be getting a little bit more organized. So when do each of these things happen throughout the year? And let's start to categorize them by quarter. January to March, what's going on? It's March now. What has happened over the last few months where you want to remember for next year to save up in advance for this? What is happening over the next several months and over the summer, getting ready for back to school? And then of course, the end of the year with all of the holidays. What happens? When are your bigger expenses throughout the year due? When do you typically take your car in? When are the bigger vet appointments? Just start to map out your year so you can see what's happening when. You might also want to include big birthdays, anniversaries, and then any weddings or major events that are coming up in the coming year. Lastly, once you have a sense of the flow of the year, let's figure out how much money we want to put into the sinking fund. I have one large sinking fund. I save for all of our big events throughout the year in one savings account. And this is a savings account that connects easily to my joint checking account with my husband. So we're able to transfer money from the sinking fund to our checking account or from our checking account to our sinking fund really, really easily. And so what you want to do is figure out, okay, what over the course of the year do we want to spend and how much each month does that work out to? We have this space here to work out those numbers. You can list all of the amounts from what you've brain dumped above and figure out sort of per quarter how much you need, over the course of the year how much you need. You can see what months you've got more wiggle room and more flexibility to add money to your sinking fund, and then what months are we going to be using the sinking fund, and you can work out that figure here. So now it's just a simple math problem. We're going to figure out exactly how much money we should be making available for our sinking fund every single month. So if you go back up to the last couple of pages, what is the cost associated with each of the items listed? Add all of those totals up. Everything for holidays, everything for travel, everything for insurance and kids and pets and your vehicles and your home. Add all that up and divide by 12. And that gives you a really clear idea of what we should have in our budget, the space we should have in our budget for sinking funds every single month. All right, so I know that I've said this before, but I want to say it again. It's really important that we are leaving our emergency funds alone as much as possible. And so often I hear people say, well, I had an emergency car repair, or I had an emergency vet visit, or my dishwasher crapped out, my clothes washer or dryer crapped out. We need to prepare for those things because inevitably something is going to happen. And I'm not saying you have to have money set aside for a new fridge, a new washer, a new dryer, a new dishwasher. That's not what I'm saying. But we should be prepared for one of them to go out and to have a few $100s set aside to get a temporary replacement until we have the money saved up to buy something newer or nicer or an upgrade. An emergency is not getting a brand new nice appliance when something breaks. An emergency is you have lost income and you're not sure how you're going to pay your mortgage payment. You're not sure how you're going to keep the lights on. You're not sure how you're going to make your car payment or put gas in your car to get to work. That is an emergency. And so if you need to go back and take a look at my video from last week all about emergency funds, go ahead and do that. But it's just a reminder that even though something feels like it is urgent and necessary, doesn't mean it's an emergency. So let's really be more intentional about putting money aside in our sinking funds and know what our tendencies are, know where we feel like something is an emergency, and start to create more of a buffer by using sinking funds. My friends, if you have any questions about what we just went through, go ahead and leave a comment below. Also, tell me what you would like to see more videos about in the future. I've got a lot of fun stuff up my sleeve, but I would love to hear what you are interested in and how I can serve you best on this channel. If creating solid sinking funds, a budget, and reaching those 2021 financial goals is on the top of your priority list right now, go ahead and schedule a consultation with me. I will leave the link to do that down in the description. And if you want to grab a copy of the template that I walked you through, you can grab that down below as well. Okay, well that is it for today. I hope you really enjoyed that, and let me know in the comments below, what are you most excited to start saving for in your sinking fund? I'm going to be back next week. We're going to wrap up this month of savings with some really specific ideas for how to declutter your finances so that you can save more easily. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you again next week. Bye.